In today's video, I'm flying from Auckland, New Zealand to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia with Malaysia Airlines in business class on their A330-200. We'll look at the seats, the food, the service, but before all that, let's get checked in.
It's not uncomfortable, it's just...
I got to the check-in counter right when it opened 3 hours before departure for reasons we'll get to in a second, and it was pretty much absolute chaos. There was a specific business class check-in line, but as you can see here, it didn't mean a whole lot. After about 5 minutes of waiting around, I made eye contact with the agent at the counter and kind of just shuffled my way forward.
I had a weird situation. I've come from Melbourne today. I'm like halfway.
Because we thought that you're gonna be still upstairs.
Let me quickly explain what happened here. I'd arrived from Sydney at around 4:30 p.m. and my flight to Malaysia was due to depart just after midnight. The guy that checked me in originally in Australia told me that I would have to re-check in Auckland in order to get my boarding pass for the flight to Malaysia. In my sleep-deprived, stupid state, I just sort of entered the country without really thinking. Of course, as I learned here, I should have just gone to the transit desk. This mistake meant that therefore I had to spend 4-ish hours just in the check-in hall at Auckland Airport.
At Melbourne, Sydney, Auckland.
Actually, I'll have to retake your bags. That's what done for you.
Okay,
most
thank you.
welcome to use the Strata Lounge.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that. It was a bit chaotic, but we're done. Got the express lane. I don't think it's actually any more express.
It did end up being quite a bit more express once you get past the immigration control part with the smart gates. It kicks you straight to the front of the queue to security, which I just find so awkward. But security ended up being the great equalizer here, with every single bag being marked for secondary screening. They only had 2 people actually searching them too, which just meant that I was waiting for 10 minutes just to be given my bag. They didn't even end up looking in it.
I think this is the only one open now. 3 lounges, and this one does everyone, apart from Qantas and Emirates. So, let's see.
Quick interjection, there's actually a 4th lounge, the Air New Zealand lounge. It's on the other side of the airport. I've never been in it. It looks like it has quite nice views though. Back to the video.
There's the Qantas one. I've been in there before. There's the Emirates one. I haven't been in there before. And here's the Strata Lounge. Let's check it out. Thanks. Thank you. Do you have showers too? Sorry. Okay, so I just come back and... Okay, thank you.
Alright, the Strata Lounge. I found this lounge had 2 really good things about it and one kind of weird thing. We'll get to them in a second, but firstly I'll just go over the lounge in general. It was very modern, spacious, clean. It had a good buffet with some hot and cold options. I had some of the butter chicken and rice. Look, it didn't transport me to India, but it perfectly satisfied my hunger at the time. I also had some of the cold salady things. Again, perfectly fine. There were plenty of drink options as well, including juice, soft drinks, beer, wine, and spirits. This lounge has views into the terminal building itself, which could be considered a downside if you're like me and you like looking at planes. The one weird thing was the kids' play area. It's this glass cube and it reminded me of You. Not You, but the Crazy Stalker Netflix series You. It was just a weird setup for a kids' play area. Alright, the 2 good things about this lounge. The internet was bonkers. It was like 1,000 down, 1,000 up gigabit. I was able to upload 150 gigabytes of video in like under an hour. Just incredible. Second thing, the showers.
This is kind of ridiculous. Look at it. It's humongous. Look. Okay, that was a very nice shower. Hot water, good pressure. The shower head's just like a normal shower head, but it's the same that I've got at home, so it was just a homely shower, really. Except they've got a Dyson Airblade thing. I wish I had one in my house. It's time to go fly, so let's go do that. So the airport's pretty much empty now because this flight is the last flight to take off for the night and the other one is currently boarding. There's literally no one here. Macca's is still beeping like usual though.
On my walk to the gate, I passed by Air New Zealand's passenger weight survey booth. In the month of June, Air New Zealand was asking more than 10,000 international travellers to step on the scales in order to figure out the average weight per passenger. It's for operational purposes, it's all voluntary and anonymised, and it's actually a regulatory thing with New Zealand's Civil Aviation Authority. They have to do this every 5 years. Interestingly, the rest of the world is just a little bit less studious with their average passenger weight data. They just use government health data in order to sort of figure out the average passenger weight. I wasn't flying Air New Zealand though, so I wasn't weighed.
We are now inviting passengers sitting in rows 40 to 50, that's 40 to 50, to come through for boarding lounge number 8. We're also inviting all families traveling with small children under the age of 5. There's any families traveling with small children under the age of 5. Do not go before you.
Hello, good evening, sir. Okay, thank you. Good evening, sir.
Here it is, the Malaysian Airlines A330-200 business class seat. I came into this knowing absolutely nothing. I literally just looked at the seat map quickly when I was picking my seat and saw that it was a 1-2-1 configuration with 19 seats. And so I thought, oh, it'll just be like the Qantas flight that I took a couple videos ago. But it was not.
It's incredibly retro, isn't it? Retro. Just the spacing. It's quite weird. It's not uncomfortable. It's narrow. You're looking very narrow.
So all of these Malaysian A330-200s are actually ex-Air Berlin planes. Air Berlin was Germany's second largest airline, keyword there being was. They went bankrupt in October of 2017 after years of losses due to overexpansion, rapid strategy changes, and just general mismanagement. When Malaysia Airlines received these planes, they basically changed nothing. They removed the Air Berlin logos from the seat and supposedly modernized the in-flight entertainment. But apart from that, these are basically just Air Berlin interiors through and through. These were a pretty well-reviewed seat back when they first came out. This was, of course, 2013 though. Things have definitely gotten a lot better, and they don't even take up any more space. This is kind of unscientific, but bear with me. Here we've got the seat map of the Malaysian Airlines A330-200. If I overlay the seat map from the Qantas flight that I took a couple videos ago in the same A330-200, we can see that both planes can fit 19 seats between the first and the second door. The Malaysian seat is 50 centimeters wide, and it extends out to a bed that's 182 centimeters long. But in the same space, Qantas is able to fit a 55 centimeter wide seat that extends out to a 2 meter long bed. They also have way more storage and this super useful table area, which you just don't get in the Malaysia seat. How does Qantas and the rest fit such a spacious seat in the same amount of space? The answer is more that these old Malaysian seats are actually just wasting a whole lot of space. You can see in this shot just how much space there is between my seat and the cabin wall. This is where that extra inch of seat width is hiding. And that extra bed length, just look at how much extra space there was in front of my seat. There was just, nothing was there. I know that all sounded pretty negative and the seat was definitely starting to show its age, but I actually found the seat to be fairly comfortable. The design of the ottoman meant that I could just put my feet up in normal seating positions, which was just quite nice for generally lounging around. I also found the screen and the control mechanism for the screen quite good. I'll talk more about that later. The only real big negative that I have for this seat is that
There's literally nowhere to put anything.
the only actual storage space was this little bit underneath the ottoman. You could probably fit a small backpack in there maybe. I was able to just kind of put my hoodie and a little bag in there, and that was it. The service and crew on this flight was seriously top notch. Before takeoff, they brought around drinks. They were all non-alcoholic, and a hot towel. In every interaction that I had with the crew, they were always super friendly, helpful, and just seemed like they liked their jobs. They were just having fun with it.
No such thing as mood LED lighting here.
We took off 38 minutes late for this 11-hour and 11-minute flight to Kuala Lumpur. There was a lot of turbulence for the first 3 hours of the flight, and the captain left the seatbelt sign on for this whole time. This didn't affect the cabin crew, who started the meal service as soon as we got airborne. This supper started out nuts. Peanut nuts. The crew kept on giving me these little packets of roasted peanuts throughout the flight. It was kind of random, but they were pretty good.
Thank you.
So, chicken teriyaki skewer. Alright. It's a replacement of satay.
Okay.
For some unexplained reason, there was no satay on this flight. This almost seems blasphemous for a Malaysian airline, especially as the whole first page of the in-flight menu explains how important satay is for Malaysia. It was a completely fine teriyaki chicken skewer, a little bit on the drier side, and I would have preferred satay, but it is what it is. This was followed up with a green bean and walnut salad. I don't know what monster thought up this concoction. This is just two bad things being mixed together. No, green bean, no. Luckily, the day was saved by the bread basket. I got the garlic bread and the hot bread roll. Man, I just love bread.
To the entrance for the condition, the serving of hot beverages will be suspended for the time being until
For the main, there was 3 options, chicken, beef or fish. I opted for the fish. It was a steamed hapuka served with rice and okra. and it came with like a sambal sauce. It was generally pretty good. I didn't realize how spicy it would be. That was fine. That just made it a bit more exciting. By the time I finished my main, it was about 2 a.m. I just conked out and missed the dessert. So yeah, sorry you won't get to see that.
Alright, good morning. I slept for about maybe 7 hours. This bed is quite narrow and not very long, but I think I was incredibly tired and so made it work. It's not particularly uncomfortable, it's just very narrow. There's like this little section at the end here that my feet don't really fit in, but when you're lying on your side it's okay. And yeah, my feet are touching the end right now, and my head touches the end, so I kind of have to curl up a little bit. There's enough knee room that you can curl up okay, which is alright. The seatbelt sign has been on for like 80% of the time. Like I haven't gotten up to go to the toilet or anything yet. The moving map on the TV is not working, so I have no idea where we are right now. Alright, not bad. A little bit gross on the floor, but we got like lotions and stuff. Yeah.
I'm gonna brush my teeth, do all that jazz.
Thank you very much. There's so much food. I'm not even hungry, but it's there. Honestly, this is more than my normal breakfast, and there's still the main to come.
There were 3 options for breakfast: nasi lemak, scrambled eggs, or brioche French toast. I ordered the nasi lemak but was given the French toast. After seeing and smelling the French toast, I just had to eat it. It was about a week's worth of sugar, but well worth it.
It's like a real Greek yogurt. It's quite nice.
The turbulence was back, so there was no hot drinks, so no coffee with breakfast. Alright, let's talk about the in-flight entertainment. The screen was not a touchscreen and was frankly too far away to be able to be used as a touchscreen anyway. It was about 15 inches diagonally and was really, really sharp. It had great resolution. It was all controlled through this little remote, which had like a mouse pad, trackpad type setup. I actually found this really, really good. It was really quick and easy to use. Now, the actual content. They had a half-decent selection of movies. There was a limited selection of newer films, and then they mostly had just heaps of early 2000s movies. It was a bit of a weird split. I also got the vibe that they were shying away from anything edgy or overly sexual. I guess they got to keep it halal. The TV show selection was comically bad. There were some cartoons for the kids, a bunch of religious programming, and only 2 or 3 English language Western TV shows, each one only having 1 or 2 or 3 episodes. There was no full box sets here. Oh, and of course, 3 episodes of Young Sheldon. Now, the music selection. Weirdly, the music selection was just crazy. It went hard. I'm not sure who was responsible for this selection, or maybe it was just one of the super cool pilots plugging in the iPod up front, because it had everything. Absolutely everything. Beyonce, DJ Khaled, Glee love songs, Michael Jackson, Sophie Tucker. I even had another encounter with TikTok. Towards the end of the flight, I was watching the Cody Banks movie, as you do, and my TV stopped responding to anything. I mean, it kept on playing the movie, but when there was an announcement, it didn't pause or anything. My remote wouldn't do anything. It was just completely unresponsive. Evidently, this didn't really affect me as it was the last 20 minutes of the flight. It just shows how old this plane is getting, really.
Coming in hot.
We touched down at 7:53 a.m. local time, 13 minutes late. Overall, I have pretty mixed feelings about this flight. I'm generally a big fan of Malaysia Airlines. I want them to do well, and I find their service to be excellent. They're just being let down currently by an aging fleet. This shouldn't be a problem for too much longer, as they've ordered and are expecting to start taking delivery of A330 Neos over the next few years to replace their current fleet of A330s.
Thank you. See you again.
I hope you enjoyed that video. Please subscribe if you did. Check out flightformula.com for some pretty useful Qantas frequent flyer tools if you're into that. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.